Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast on YouTube. I've been wanting to do this video for a long ass time, and I've covered some of this shit, but not all together. Alright, started back in 1983. This little miniseries aired on TV. I think it was 2 nights. I'm not exactly sure. I just know that it was 2 hours each night, because I get to see the first hour and then I have to go to bed, because in 83 my bedtime was, I can't remember when. I think this aired 8 to 10 and my bedtime was like 9. But thankfully, my parents had a Betamax VCR. Yes, Betamax. This is right before we got the VHS, but they had this Betamax and they recorded them. So like the next day after school, I'd come home, watch the part I'd miss. This is V, the original miniseries from, who put this out? Warner Brothers. Okay, and this is one of them old shitty ass plastic cardboard cases. What it is these aliens, and that kind of reveals shit right there. But these aliens come down, they look human. Their voices sound a little different. They want to do all this shit for the human race. All they're asking for is a little bit of our resources. And this reporter, played by Mark Singer right here, manages to sneak up, thinks something's up, sees some more of the ship, and sees that they're part lizard underneath here, and they want to steal all our water, get all our resources that they need, and they take the humans with them as this fucking snack. Yeah. So he starts leading this resistance group, or becomes part of this resistance group that's fighting them off. It's mostly based in the Los Angeles area, but it's going on worldwide. And at the end of this little miniseries, because I really do think it was 2 nights. There's the flipper disc, sadly. Now this ain't too hard to find. You can find this, maybe $10 new. For the longest time, this was a $5 DVD. It was probably $10 when it came out. Worth seeing if you like good sci-fi, good made-for-TV sci-fi. 80s era. It caught me as a kid because how old was I when this came out? I was 9-ish, 8, 9. Somewhere around. It caught me as a kid, and I loved this show. This miniseries. Well then, hold on a second. We skip ahead to 1984, and we get V, the Final Battle. Same creative team as the first one, even though I've heard that the guy that wrote the first one, like the studio interfered a little bit on this one. He wasn't happy with some shit in it. And then this one, whoa, sorry about that. It's like, what, about a year later, they're still fighting them. The resistance is wanted because now the aliens, the lizards as they're called, you know what, this is modern day and they were living amongst us. You wouldn't be able to call them lizards. That'd be considered a racial slur. Or would it be F? No, it would be racial because they're a different race. Okay. But anyway, they're fighting against really badass. Now, this was a lot longer. This motherfucker, because by the time we got this, we had a VHS. Because the first miniseries was 1 Betamax tape. No, it was 2. Yeah, each night was a separate tape. This one was 267 minutes. This motherfucker was like 3 or 4 nights. And everybody, if you hadn't seen this first one and you lived in my area, you saw this motherfucker and like, come on, you gotta watch this shit. Like every one of my friends saw it because I had that tape. Because a lot of them were like me, they had to go to bed at 9. And a lot of their parents were like, ooh, that's a little too scary for you. Because we were fairly young. This shit was great. I love it. That's Diana. She's the head of the visitors. There's Mark Singer. I can't remember his character's name. Oh, I didn't even notice that. These are flipper discs. But check this shit out. Look at that. That is badass. You don't see packaging like this anymore. Even though I hate these kind of packages do self-destruct. I'm not the biggest fan of flipper discs. I don't hate them like a lot of people do. And as far as I know, it's the only way to get this. A couple of standouts in this. One of the Earth girls, and did you find out in the first miniseries or is this one? She falls in love, or kind of gets seduced by one of the visitors and gets pregnant by him and gives birth to 2 babies. One that looks like one of the aliens, one of the lizard-looking people, and one that looks human. And that child goes on past this. Because this ends with, they find out there's this like bacteria that the visitors are highly allergic to and it'll kill them. So they start releasing it way up in the air using hot air balloons. And they're like, the ones that are working with us want to stay behind. They had some kind of cure for it. I mean, it's kind of a hacked ending. But that's how, and their ships are leaving like, oh, fuck, they won. Okay, cool. So you think that's all. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, man. We got 2 good miniseries out of this. Yeah, I had both of them because when this came out, I had VHS tapes to record this shit. Like every night was a tape. And for years and years, both of these got watched all the time because I had the 2 tapes. I had a Betamax VCR back in my room. My parents got the VHS. I got the Betamax and VHS in the living room. But hold on, that ain't the end of it. because they rushed the VTV show into production. This is the motherfucker to find, because like I said, this might even be 15 sealed, maybe 20. This motherfucker, last time I found a sealed copy selling online, it was like 50 to 60 or 70 bucks. It's just ridiculous. Even used copies are going for too much. I don't know why. This was easy to find for 10 bucks. This is V, the complete series. There's Mark Singer. There's Diana. I can't remember that woman's name. Faye Grant, Mark Singer, and Michael Ironsides is on this. He played Ham. It was a Ham and Tyler, kind of like the mercenary guys that worked for him, could get like explosives and shit. Another big thing Robert Englund. Yes, Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund played Freddy Krueger. In fan circles, he was best known for playing fucking Willie on V. He was the vegetarian visitor who sided with the humans and kind of like leaked shit. And he was kind of, this is gonna come off as sounding me. They played it out as like the lizard visitor was supposed to be like slightly smarter than humans, but Willie was played off as being like dumber than your average. So I don't know if Willie was supposed to be like a special needs visitor. I'm sorry if that comes off me, and I'm trying not to laugh, but oh shit. But the TV series, now this didn't last long. Let me see here. 19 episodes. My understanding, because I watched this week to week, I'd miss it here and there, and it aired on Fridays, and there was 2 other shows my parents watched at the same time, so they'd watch one, record other stuff. I wasn't home. I didn't get to see it. I missed a few when they originally aired. They re-aired them in the summer, so I caught them. A couple of the episodes in like the middle of the series did not air until summer reruns. It ends on a major cliffhanger, and I have not watched this in a long time, so I'm going off memory. Elizabeth, if I remember the name of the girl that looked human, but her dad was visitor, her mama was human. Robin was her mama. The mom. A lot of the cast from the miniseries are gone by like a couple episodes in the show. I just think they couldn't afford to keep them around because this was low budget. This has been rerun on Sci-Fi Channel, a few other places. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. And as far as I know right now, this is the only way to get this motherfucker is this DVD set that's just getting harder and harder to find. But the last episode, Elizabeth is supposed to be going back to the home world to broker a peace between the humans and the visitors. And like this guy that's like the prince of the visitors or some shit's there, and he's going onto one of the little shuttlecrafts, which is there a picture of one of them on here? I'd love to show that. If not, okay, the next thing I'm showing, I will make sure to point out what the shuttlecraft looks like because they're amazing. I wish I'd made a toy of these. And I'll speak on toys in a minute too. But it's her, and it's the one human resistance guy, and she's supposed to be like, even though she's only 5, 6 years old, in actuality, she looks like she's 18, 19, and she's supposed to have like, she matured faster, all this shit. It's like her boyfriend guy. They're going onto this ship, and you find out that an explosive has been planted on the ship that's going to explode as soon as that little shuttle ship gets outside the big ship. That's how the series ended. They've never resolved this as far as I know, and I'll go into that in a second. But that's V. Now these are flippers. Do they show a shuttle? No, there's another good Mark Hamill picture. I mean, Mark Singer. There's Diana. I cannot remember her name. She also, kind of known in the 80s, 90s, she did the Mission Impossible remake show. There's no real extras on any of this, to be honest. Jane Balder. That's Diana. Robert Englund, Faye Grant, Michael Ironside. Mark Singer's way down on the list. Kenneth Johnson's the creator. He didn't have a lot to do with this. Well, once this was over, you know, you only really had one thing going for it if you're a V fan like I was. I was a huge V fan back in the 80s. And this series ends, you're like, motherfucker. And you kind of, I didn't know it. My parents kind of knew it because first thing they aired it on Friday nights. And even back then, Friday nights was not the best night for a show like this. So they kind of were letting me know, yeah, this is probably not going to come back. You know, don't get your hopes up. But I had something that kept me excited because I love fucking V. And they had trading cards, and I don't have any of those right now. It was put out by Fleer, if I remember right. It was kind of like the standard TV show, movie trading cards at the time. You know, they only ran one series as far as I know, you know, about 50 cards, and each pack came with like 5 cards and a sticker on a card. The stickers are harder to come by. I never had a full set, but my cousin, who was also a huge V fan, and I know he's got this stuff. I don't know if he's got the next stuff I'm going to show you. He had a full set, and he lost them like in a hurricane one in the last like 20 years. But yeah, there was that. There was one toy. Glue put out a Barbie size visitor You could pull the face mask off, and he had the lizard face, and I think the tongue stuck out, and it had a bunch of cool accessories. I never saw the motherfucker in the stores ever. Outside of conventions and online, the only time I've ever seen one was there was a comic shop in Biloxi for years and years. They had one in like they had a display cabinet like they're really expensive shit, and they were wanting, I want to say they only wanted like $45 for this thing, and this was, or maybe 35. It was between 30 and 50. This was like 90 through about 96. I never bought it. I should have. It's the only piece of merchandise that I know of that I've never owned any of. There's books, there was novels. The first two miniseries have novelizations. There's a series of novels that take place in other parts of the world during like the time of the TV show and the second miniseries. I'd heard for years the last novel that got published resolved the TV show cliffhanger. I got a copy, it doesn't. I don't know where my novels are. I only got 2 or 3 of them now. They're not hard to come by. They're a little thin, like a couple 100-page books. And there is a novel that came out in the past 20 years that's by Kenneth Johnson that skips pretty much the series, the TV show completely. And I think a good chunk of the second miniseries is the way he would have resolved everything. I have a copy. I've never got to read it. But there's one other piece of merchandise, and this is something that I'm kind of pissed at myself because I've owned a complete set of this shit multiple times. And they just kind of get lost in moves, or hey, buddy wants to borrow them, so I'll loan them to him, and I never end up getting them back. They're inexpensive, as long as you're going for reader condition copies, used. Let me grab them real quick. Yeah, what I'm talking about is the motherfucking V comic from DC. The Visitor are our friends. The Visitor. 75 cents. This is issue 5 from June of '85. So this is probably after the TV show. I'm guessing it's probably right before the TV show started. The TV show probably started in September. Carrie Bates, Todd Smith, Tony DeZuniga. They always had really good covers. I like how they incorporated the V into the art every time. Like that. That's a badass cover. And we got like old ass Kirby shit. Here we go. Carrie Bates is the writer. Todd Smith is the penciler. Alfredo Alcala is the inker. He is really good. I know him mostly from like Warren stuff. He was I think he's a Filipino artist. Letterer, Carrie Spiegel. Colors, Michelle Wolfman. That's Edgar Marvel, and that's Marv's wife, I'm pretty sure. And the art's not bad. The characters look enough like who they're supposed to. Like that's Diana. We'll find a shuttle. The stories are pretty good. They fit where they're supposed to, and they don't contradict almost anything. And the neat thing about this is that you get a fairly long series. I don't have every issue. As you see, this is issue 5. I've owned a full run multiple times as a kid. This is like, for some reason as a kid, this is like my proudest accomplishment is I managed to get a full run of the V comic without using comic shops. This was like finding them at yard sales and trade with motherfuckers. Because I was buying it, was coming out, I just couldn't find it every month. Where's these pieces at? Where's the shuttlecraft? That is, okay, look at that. That is a badass vehicle. I'm gonna find a side view. There's the big visitor. And if you never noticed, the big visitor ships, they look a lot like the big ass ships from Independence Day. That's another reason why I don't like Independence Day, because that money could have been spent on a big budget fucking V movie. I know I'm being fucking fanboyish. I'm almost being like the fucker from hell right there. There's like a side view of the ship. And they had some neat little stories, like Ham and Tyler leave the TV show for a bit. Michael Ironsides, and the guy playing Tyler, you would recognize him if I showed you a picture. And so in the comic, they told a side story with them and Robin, Elizabeth's mom, going off to do some V-mail. Okay. Most of these I'm not going to flip through that much, but all right, now this is the Visitor, our friends, of course. Now these look like maybe they got like some humidity damage. These were all fished out of, and I probably got more in my collection. I just got to find the box around. These were all fished within the last year or so out of 2 local comic shops cheap bins for maybe $1 each. These are inexpensive. I mean, yeah, 75 cents. You're probably going to pay $1. I'll check this out. Amazing Heroes, best books of '84. Swamp Thing, so DC. John Sable, American Flag, so first. Teen Titans, DC. Marvel's first thing, number 5 is Fantastic Four. Then X-Men. Then another DC, Marvel. Okay, who we got on here? Carmine Infantino does a lot of the pencils on this series, and he has some really good job. He really captures the people. Tony DeZuniga, Michelle Wolfman, letterer Carrie Spiegel, editor Marvel Wolfman. Okay, yeah. You see, the art is better. Even the last issue was not bad. I'd like to see Alfredo Alcala inking Okay, that's Michael Irons. That's him and Tyler. This might, no, this is not one of the ones. Let's see if I got a good picture of Willie. Willie. Okay, that's Will. Whoa, that's Willie. That's supposed to be Robert Englund. And he almost always wears this. I don't remember you seeing him that often without his human face on. And he ends up, there's a, was it a waitress or she ran like a food truck? Because Willie was working on like a power plant or something like this, doing jobs of humans. Because the visitors can like breathe gases we can't breathe. They're a little bit tougher than us. Kind of battle droids. Oh, that kind of looks like BattleTech. This is the kind of stuff when I go digging in the cheap bins I end up rescuing. Even though, like I probably got at least half of these already in my box somewhere. I've got almost another full run. Look at that cover. That looks better than the printed version. Because look, there's the printed. I like it without the orange. That looks really cool. Okay, I have the ones I was talking about. Okay, this is issue 7, Trapped. And we got Faye Grant. I cannot remember her name on this. I best know her for this. And then she was on Greatest American Hero. So we got Newell, Infantino, and DeZuniga. Superpowers! Oh, those were so cool. I love them. Remember, like, most of the years it was coming out, I got 2 or 3 of those every year at Christmas. Okay, this is from... What month is this? August 85. This was right before the series probably started. Or the series might have been going on. This might be after series, because I'll explain that in a second. If I get that far in the issues. I don't know how far I go in the issues. Mindy Newhall's the writer now. And that was the thing, they could do shit in here, and they actually could use some of the actors and actresses that left the show. They just told side stories when I'm in the comic. Like I say, it's not the best art, it's not, and the bad thing about it is that I would have thought possibly something like IDW or one of those when they had a revival V series. I haven't mentioned that. It came out past 10 years, had Elizabeth Mitchell from Lost, and that woman from Firefly, and I cannot think of her name now. And the girl who played the lady played Supergirl on Smallville. Can't think of her name now either. It was decent. I watched the first season. I just kind of gave up because it was just slow moving. All right, here we go. Visit our friends. Rozakis, Infantino, and DeZuniga. Okay, that's Hammond, Tyler, and Robin running from one of the things. This is the side story. This is issue... Is this issue? Okay, that's 7. Is this 8? This is 8. It's a little side story called Printer's Devil by Bob Rozakis. Guest scripter, Carmen Infantino and Tony DeZuniga, artist. Carrie Spiegel, letterer. Michelle Wolfman, colors. Robert Greenberg, editor. And it's just, they left the series for a while. I think that Archer's playing Robin got like another role. So I had the feeling a lot of the cast kind of knew the budget of the show. The ratings weren't great. It was on a Friday. There was a lot. Oh God, that is badass. Is that? That's got to be Joe Kubert? That really looks like Joe Kubert artwork, man. Angels with Black Wings. I need to read more Sergeant Rock. It's one of those series I like, and I've read a chunk of it. I need to read more. Oh, I got to show the next cover good because there's a good picture of Willie on there. Willie. Yeah. I fucking love this. And I know this video is going long. And if I had every issue of the comic and everything else, this video would be an hour and a half long, man. This camera, epilogue, see it? That's the end of it. The V-mail. And they told you some information, man. Like, I remember there was a letter, I don't know if it's in one of these, somebody was talking about how somebody asked in one of the letters earlier why on the miniseries the visitor spoke with this slight reverb to the voice. They don't say it that way, but that's what it was. And how come on TV show they sound like the humans did? And the obvious answer is budget. But somebody was like, well, I bought this visitor's handbook at a convention, and it explains that their vocal cords got used to the level of some gas in our atmosphere that was causing their voice to do that. So they just went back to normal. And the person in the comments like, well, anything that's not official from blah, blah, blah is not in continuity, but that's a good answer. In other words, thank you for answering this shit that we don't want to say the budget's too low. The Nutty Pay... Oh, shit, an old Payday ad. Holy fuck. I love Payday. That's like my favorite candy bar. All right, issue number 9. There's Willie. Look at that. Got City on Fire. Got our heroes stand here. This is the guy that was with Elizabeth. That's Mark Singer. That's Faye Grant. That's Willie. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Elizabeth. Who we got this time? Bates, Infantino, and Dizaniga. Who are the survivors? And these are mostly all, newsstand copies. This is a series where I have not ever seen that many of these that are not newsstand copies. I'm sure there's direct market copies. So direct market in 80, what month is this? October 85, so that's what, August? Coming out? Yeah, it was around. I mean, I was hitting comic shops, but Nathaniel Dusk, that's Don McGregor. One day, I would love to get and I'm not going to get them great, but I want every issue of this. I think there's 18 total, or 14, something like that. We'll find out in a second. I'm getting close to the end. The Poison in the Apple. This is the one where they go to New York? Yep. One day I would like to get every issue of this. Covers perfect. And frame them bitches, put them up on the wall. I love these. I love this. This is one of my favorite non-superhero comics of the 80s. And I don't hear anybody ever talking about this shit. I mean, even Atari Force gets people going, man, Atari Force was fucking great, And Atari Force was fucking great, but V was amazing. V was the shit. And the best thing about V is with Atari Force you got some comics. With V, you got the comics, you got the TV show, you got the novels, you got the miniseries, you got a toy, you got some trading cards, and it's so ripe for a revival. All the 80s stuff coming back. Thundercat's gonna get 2 revivals. V can't get, V got one. It sucked. I just gotta accept that. V got a revival and it fucking sucked. Oh man. That show was just, $24.98 each, and these were what? It doesn't say how long, but the Superhouse Club. Okay, that's probably the old Filmation cartoons. Oh, look at that. Oh, that old Visitor. Fucking lizard. God. The DC fucking challenge. Oh, that's another one I need to get every issue of and just do a thing on. That's such a great little series. All right. I'm missing issue 10. This is issue 11. This is there's no credits on the cover. Wow. Usually they give us credit. Okay, Visit Our Friends. Has a traitor giving Los Angeles to the invaders. We got them coming in. There's the V on the cover. I like how they incorporate that. These copies I've not looked at since I got them. Carrie Bates, Carmine Infantino. Okay, same team as normal. The bar they usually based out of got tore up, and they had it was like a speakeasy. They had underneath it. I think it was like an old speakeasy underneath it. What used to be where you went and got your liquor back in the day. It was where the resistance holed up. And there was a lizard kid, young kid that was on their side. Oh man, look at this shit. 1985, 96. NBC Saturday mornings, motherfucker. Snorks, Adventures of the Gummy Bears, Smurfs, Punky Brewster, Alvin and Chipmunks, Kid Video, Mr. T, Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. You know what? That's a perfect fucking lineup. I watched every one of them damn shows. Mr. T, I might not have watched that much of that year if there was something else on against, but everything else on there, I'd have been like, yeah. These fucking glow-in-the-dark posters. That were tiny. They're 11 by 14? That's actually not that tiny. Okay, I thought they were, it must be a different one then. There was one of those ads, one of those, man. This is making me want to sit down and go dig until I find out. Okay, here we go. This is another neat one. Okay, whoa, sorry. DC Deluxe books. Okay, DC had the deluxe shit. They only went to comic shops, subscription. It was Infinity Inc. That was the kids of the Justice Society. Legion of Superheroes. Part of this was these books were not selling in the newsstand market, but they're selling good in direct market. Legion was one of those. Omega Man, that was a spinoff of Legion, if I remember right. The Outsiders, that was the Batman and Outsiders revamp. Vigilante, okay. New Teen Titans. This is the one. Check this out, okay. Kids just want to have fun Saturday mornings. Dungeons & Dragons, CBS Storybook, Charlie Brown Snoopy, The Berenstain Bears, Wuzzles, Young Astronauts. I'll go back to that in a second. Muppet Babies and Monsters starts Saturday, September 14th on CBS. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Now, back in the day, I would have watched Dungeons & Dragons, definitely. Charlie Brown Snoopy, probably. Hogan, I really didn't watch it that much as a kid, to be honest. Wuzzles, I did watch. I would have watched Young Astronauts. Shit never aired. The Challenger incident kept this from airing. Muppet Babies and Little Monsters. They only aired 2 or 3 episodes, and somehow I missed every one of them. The Little Monsters. Muppet Babies aired the rest of the year. All right, Mass. Issue 12. Okay, it went more than 14. Probably went about 16 or 18. I think it's 18 issues. It was over a year. The Animal. Remember a buddy of mine having that. Now we got Carrie Bates, Carmine Infantino, Tony Zuniga, John Costanza. Oh, John Costanza come on as letterer. Michelle Wolfman. Oh, I didn't look. The Siege. The visitors are our friends. There's Willie. There's Faye Grant. There's Mark Sanders. There's Hammer Tyler. Man. Look at that. And you see, the art's not great, but it's not hard. And this is something I really think if some company out there would work through the fucking legal rights and you know, all that shit. Oh, fuck. That's badass. A fucking Elvira Mistress. Yeah, see? This one got wet at one time. Elvira Mistress of the Dark t-shirt. You know, somebody would do that and reprint this because it's under 20 issues. I really think it's only 18. This shit would be huge. It would sell. There's enough of a market out there. Just seeing what the TV show goes for now. Because there's other TV show sets that I own that are just as out of print as that. Just as unavailable. Oh, yeah, this hasn't been open much since then. Hold on. Sorry about that. Sick relative calling to update me on the situation. All right. This was badass. This is the Oz Wonderland War. It was supposed to be the last few issues of Captain Carrot and Amazing Zoo Crew, and it got made into a miniseries, but yeah. And then we got my final issue, which is 14. I love this fucking cover. I always have. Another sideways. They had a lot of sideways pages. Carrie Bates, Carmen Tony Zuniga. Okay. And they're listed as illustrators, so they're probably doing a little bit of both. And it's just your standard belt. That's what I want to see. Come on. Okay. It don't say in here. I really think this ran like 16 to 18 issues because I know the last two issues are telling a story from before. What is his name? Okay, there's a black gentleman in the first mission. He has two sons. One's like the good son, one's the bad son. The good son dies. He don't want anything to do with the bad son. The bad son ends up being the one that helps him out because he can get a hold of guns and shit for him. Well, he died early on in the TV show, and that's part of the reason why the show lost some ratings because he was a really popular character. It was like Isaiah, I think was his name. I want to say it was Isaiah, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time. And the last two issues were like Gene Colan, if I'm remembering right. Or it was a big name. I want to say it was maybe Gil Kane. It was an older name, but like really good artist drawing them. Because everybody thought they were kind of hinting that something big was coming. They let you know the series was ending in the letters page. You know, series is ended, series ended. You thought something, they were letting you know something big was coming. By this time, you knew the TV show was over. And everybody's begging for them to at least resolve that cliffhanger and the thing. They're hitting something big. And you're like, all right. And then they're like, yeah, the last two issues going to be a flashback. This character's coming back. And you're like, cool, but fuck. Yeah, it's such a great, oh man, I fucking love V. I really do. This is one of my, I'd love to just get every fucking, wish, was it Funko does those? The React figures? Why aren't they making V figures? The little React, the little Star Wars, the old Kenner style. I got a Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Make fucking V, man. I'd be happy with like V Imaginext figures or V Lego figures, even small shit. Anything V that ain't connected to that bad 2-season remake. I gave them this. ABC did give it 2 seasons. That first season didn't do that great, but they gave it 2 seasons. And the first season, I'm just going, it was slow, is what it was. It took the entire first season and like an episode in the second season to get them as far as they were by the end of the first miniseries of the original. And I shouldn't compare it so much to the original, but just this hit at the right age. I'm a huge fanboy of this shit. It's one of my faults on this series. I'm sorry about that. But man, I have rambled for way too long. It's almost 30 fucking minutes. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and watch me ramble about V for 30 minutes. If you watch this entire video and watch me ramble for almost 30 minutes about fucking V, leave a comment below. Tell me if you've seen V, or what TV show is this for you? You see how much my fandom is of V. Alright, well, I'm glad. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Sorry this took so long. I've been promising this one for a while. It just took a while to get some of this stuff together because some of the shit was loaned out to people. Not this. Just don't leave the house. These have been loaned out. Some of these, I was trying to find the comics. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember, give me that thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.